Before the world knew his name, before cities glowed with light, before sound could be captured, there was only a boy who was told he was not smart enough. Thomas Alva Edison was born on February 11, 1847, in a small town called Milan, Ohio. He was the seventh child in his family. Quiet, curious, different. At school, Thomas struggled. He asked too many questions. He couldn't sit still. His mind wandered far beyond the classroom walls. One day, his teacher sent a note home. It said, "Your son is idle. He is incapable of learning." That note could have ended everything. But Thomas's mother did something extraordinary. She read the note silently, then looked at her son and said, "Your teacher says you are too brilliant for this school. I will teach you myself." That lie became the truth that saved the world. His mother, Nancy Edison, was his first teacher, his first believer, his first investor. She filled their home with books, experiments, and curiosity. Young Thomas read endlessly science, chemistry, mechanics, and when he read something, he didn't just understand it, he tested it. By the age of 10, Thomas had built a laboratory in the basement of his house. Bottles, wires, acids, smoke. Most boys played games. Thomas Edison played with ideas. At 12 years old, he began working on trains, selling newspapers and candy. But even there, his mind refused to rest. He built a mobile laboratory inside a train car. One day, an experiment caught fire. The lab burned. The chemicals exploded. The conductor beat him and threw him off the train. From that day on, Edison began to lose his hearing. Many would see this as a curse. Edison called it an advantage. He said, "Deafness kept me free from the noise of the world." By his teenage years, Thomas Edison was broke, partially deaf, and completely obsessed with invention. He slept wherever he could, worked whenever he could, failed constantly. But inside him burned one belief: I am not a failure. I am preparing. No school believed in him. No teacher supported him. But one woman did, and one boy refused to quit. The world would soon discover that the child they called stupid was about to out-invent history itself. The hungry years, pain before power. Every great invention has a hidden cost. For Thomas Edison, that cost was hunger, loneliness, failure, and years of being invisible. In his late teens, Edison became a telegraph operator. Telegraphy was the internet of the 1800s. Messages traveled faster than horses, faster than ships, faster than history had ever known. Edison was good. No, he was exceptional, but there was a problem. He hated rules. He worked nights, slept days, modified machines without permission. He asked questions no one wanted answered. Eventually, he was fired again and again and again. By the age of 21, Edison had been fired from nearly every job he held. With nowhere to go, he drifted from city to city: Boston, New York, Philadelphia, always broke, always experimenting in New York City. Edison hit rock bottom. He slept on the floor of offices. They ate when he could, went days without food. One night, a stock ticker machine failed. Money was being lost by the minute. Panic filled the room. Edison stepped forward. He fixed the machine. In minutes, the company owner stared at him and asked, "Who are you?" Edison replied, "An inventor." That repair changed everything. He was offered 300 per month, more money than he had ever seen. But Edison didn't celebrate. He invested. He built a small workshop, bought tools, hired helpers, and began doing what he did best: improving what already existed. His first major success was the universal stock ticker. It worked faster, more accurately. more reliably. The result, the 40,000, in today's money, millions. For the first time in his life, Edison was not poor. But instead of resting, he reinvested everything. He moved to New Jersey, bought land, and prepared to build something the world had never seen. Not a workshop, not a factory, but a place where invention itself would be manufactured, a place where failure would be encouraged, a place where ideas would be tested relentlessly. The name of that place, Menlo Park. This was not success yet, this was preparation, because Edison was about to discover that invention is not inspiration, it is obsession. And at Menlo Park, Thomas Edison would no longer be just a man, he would become a force of history. Menlo Park, the invention factory. In 1876, Thomas Edison bought a small plot of land in Menlo Park, New Jersey. To most people, it looked like nothing, empty fields, silent streets, no promise. But Edison saw a laboratory, a factory of ideas, a place where failure was just the first step toward genius. He built the world's first industrial research laboratory. Inside, he created chemical labs, machine shops, experiment rooms, libraries filled with books and journals. This was not a hobby. This was a machine to invent the future. Edison hired a team, engineers, chemists, mechanics, curious young minds. He told them, don't wait for instructions, try everything, and try they did, day and night. Months turned into years, thousands of experiments, thousands of failures, every broken filament, every shattered glass, every short circuit was a lesson. Then came 1877, and a moment history would never forget. Edison invented the phonograph, a machine that could record sound and play it back. The first time Edison heard his own voice played back, he whispered, my God, it actually works. Newspapers called him the Wizard of Menlo Park. But Edison's true obsession was light. At the time, houses burned kerosene lamps, streets were dark at night, fires and smoke were constant dangers. Edison wanted safe, lasting electric light. He tested 1,000 filaments, 5,000 filaments, 10,000 filaments. Each one burned out, shattered, or failed. Journalists mocked him. Competitors laughed. Edison replied calmly, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Finally, after years of relentless experimentation, carbon filament, it worked, it glowed, it lasted hours. The darkness of the world was about to end. Edison lit up his laboratory. The night became day. People came from miles around to witness the miracle. For the first time, the impossible looked inevitable. Light bulbs were one thing, but power systems, distributing electricity across cities, that battle would pit Edison against a rival genius and change the world in ways even Edison could not foresee. Menlo Park was not just a laboratory, it was the birthplace of modern innovation. Here, failure was a step, obsession was fuel, and the world would never be the same. Thomas Edison didn't just create inventions, he created a way to invent, a factory for the future, a machine to change the world. The war of currents, Edison with Tesla. Edison had lit up the world, but the war for electricity had only just begun. Edison had invented direct current, DC safe, reliable, perfect for short distances. But the problem, DC could not travel far. Cities needed miles of power lines. DC was expensive and inefficient for the modern world. Then came a visionary genius, Nikola Tesla, brilliant, trained in Europe, ideas ahead of his time. Tesla introduced alternating current AC, efficient, long distance power, powerful enough to electrify entire cities. Few know this. Tesla once worked for Edison. Edison promised him 50 dollars, the 50,000 if he could improve DC systems. Tesla succeeded, but when he asked for the payment, Edison laughed. You don't understand American humor. Tesla left, and a rivalry was born. Tesla partnered with George Westinghouse, a man with vision and money. Together, they brought AC to the world. Now Edison faced not just a rival, but a corporate empire challenging his vision. Edison knew AC would threaten his DC empire, so he did something drastic. He began a fear campaign, electrocuted animals with AC to show danger, public demonstrations claiming AC was lethal, even helped develop the electric chair to instill terror. He painted AC as deadly while promoting his DC system as safe. Newspapers screamed, AC kills, Edison saves lives. But behind the headlines, the truth was clear. AC was the future. 1893, a monumental test, the Niagara Falls Power Project, was set to illuminate the world. Decision, did DC or AC? The world watched as Tesla's AC system powered the massive project. Result, AC wins. Tesla had changed the world. Edison lost the battle, but not the war of invention. Brilliant inventor, visionary, ambitious, sometimes ruthless, Edison taught the world innovation is not just about brilliance, it's also about survival, ego, and strategy. And in every battle he fought, history took note. Edison lit the night, but in the war of currents, he learned that genius alone cannot win. Sometimes the world decides the victor. Legacy, loneliness, and immortality. The battles were over, the labs quieted, the crowds moved on. But Thomas Edison, he was still inventing. Even in his later years, Edison did not slow down. Morning, lab, afternoon, experiments, evening notes, and schematics. He once said, I never did a day's work in my life. It was all fun. And for Edison, it truly was. The price of genius, greatness demands sacrifice. 3 marriages, children he barely saw, emotional distance. Edison was a father, but he was also married to invention. At his West Orange lab, Edison created batteries, motion pictures, cameras, sound, films. Here, he laid the foundation for Hollywood, for cinema, for a world that could see and hear like never before. Edison asked, why just record sound when you can capture life? His kinetoscope amazed the world. For the first time, people watched moving pictures, stories came alive. History was no longer still. But technology never stops. Radio, electronics, quantum physics, new geniuses emerged. Edison's empire shrank, yet his mind remained relentless. In 1931, at age 84, Edison lay in bed, breath slow, eyes closing. His last words reportedly were, it's very beautiful over there. When he died, 1 minute of silence across America, lights dimmed in cities, newspapers mourned, even darkness respected him. 1093 patents, phonograph, electric light, power systems, motion pictures. But more than inventions, Edison left the world a lesson. Failure is not the enemy, it is the teacher. Some called him ruthless. Some say he stole credit. Some celebrate him as a visionary. The truth, Edison was human, brilliant, flawed, persistent, immortal in impact. Genius is not born, it is made. Persistence is the power, curiosity the spark, and the will to continue is what changes the world. When Thomas Edison entered the world, the night was long and dark. When he left, the world shone brighter than ever because some men refused to let darkness win.